Welcome to Burnin Daylight Sports with Matt McKinley, Eric Winkler, and Jake Rehnquist. Join us every Tuesday for betting lines, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
Welcome back. Had a really fun weekend of college football. Had some big signings in the Major League Baseball and NFL. I didn't get to watch a whole lot of, but it didn't seem like a ton of real noteworthy stuff happened. It just seemed kind of it's kind of the grind part of the NFL season. Like it's about to get really, really good, but it's right now it's just like that slog of the kind of a late mid-season NFL season.
Yeah, but a lot of people are a little bit more interested than me for fantasy reasons. I think
because it's
last regular season, but I already locked up first round buys in both leagues, so
nice.
I didn't pay attention at all, really.
I set my lineup. It did good, but like everybody that I needed to lose won, and I ended up out of the. I'm in the loser bracket.
That's too bad. I think I knocked people out in both of my leagues.
That's man.
I didn't even need the game.
If I could have snuck in, I'm set up for a good late season run. I even being down McCaffrey, like I picked up some good waiver wires and made a couple good trades, and like everything's starting to hit its stride, but it was too little too late. And so I'll continue to set my lineup, but I don't care. I'm just phoning it in at this point, but it's kind of weird not having football every day of the week now because there's no football to bet on tonight, and so I'm like I looked at some of the basketball games and I'm like, nah, no, that's a trap. Don't do it. I don't know nearly enough to even start. So I was like, the Nuggets play tomorrow. Maybe I'll do my typical Jokic with the over on total, points, rebounds, assists. And then,
he's gotten it on points like the last few games.
Yeah. Wow, so I do that, parlay it with a Nuggets win, and it usually pays out like plus 180 or something like that. So.
It's usually pretty good, but I think you put up like 53 on like Friday or something like that, and they took the loss.
Yeah. It's not something I spend a whole lot of time on, and I probably won't, but I might for this NFL that little stretch between football and baseball. I'm just like, fuck, I miss baseball. But
me too. And F1 just ended for the season this weekend, so I gotta like fill in my time with baseball now. Or basketball.
There's the National Finals rodeos going on right now, but I haven't watched a single round. I like any of it. I usually watch a round or two, but a lot of my listeners probably watch it. But I don't mind. Like I like competing in rodeo, but I've never been one to watch it very much. It just I don't know. I've been way too up and close with rodeo and I know a lot of people when I'm at a rodeo, so I'd rather go like hang out behind the chutes than actually watch the competition. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like I enjoy it. They're sure enough legit athletes, but it's just not something I watch. So and then like everything nowadays, it's not just on TV anymore. You got to find what streaming service or whatever it's on, and not worth it for the little I watch rodeo. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's winning, and And it's wrestling season for the kids that I'm helping coach, so I'm busy on Sundays now. So it is what it is. But I guess speaking of Sundays, we got a lot to cover in college, so we'll leave that for a little bit later. We'll kind of cruise through the NFL a little bit. I didn't get to watch much. It started out with a fucking banger. The pack coming up a little bit short. What's your thoughts on the kneel down situation?
Oh man, I mean, what are you talking? Oh, the on the handoff.
Yeah.
Well, it's NFL, so he's not. You need to be down by contact.
Right.
If you just take a knee, it's not automatically down like college.
That's right? My understanding of it. But I heard somebody arguing that like the quarterback can't, once if they kneel down, then it's the play's dead. And
okay, so that is true, but I think it has to be intentional, and this is clearly not intentional. Like, because I've seen quarterbacks fall down before and get back up.
Right, and that's what I wasn't real for sure on that argument, but I wasn't buying it. I wasn't sure enough of it to argue the point. I'm not that I was arguing with anybody, but if I was to argue, like I'd been like, I don't know if that's right. I'm not certain of it, but I'd be like, I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, we were watching at the bar and they didn't have the sound on, so I don't know what like any of the commentators had to say about it, but
yeah, I don't.
I mean, we all just like, oh, didn't think anything of it, and then but they kept replaying it. It's like, oh man, they must be talking about it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really. It was kind of the same thing. I had the sound on, but I wasn't really. I was kind of tuning out the sound. I was just looking up and watching it. But I don't know. It was a hell of a game. It was fun to watch.
It's a good game. I mean, I'm a Packers fan. I was in a bar full of Lions fans.
Yeah, I bet that sucked at the end, but
it did. Pretty much the whole time.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Like the whole bar yelling at me. But it was a fun game. Good game. Yeah. I mean, I thought the Packers had a chance there for a second.
Yeah, I thought so too. It was it was a hell of a game. Packers come up a little bit short, but man, it was not for the lack of try. Fuck, it was a hell of a Thursday night game. And then I won money on that, so
I did too. I took the over and like a parlay that, well, I guess one of my parlays missed one hit.
Yeah, I missed on my player props or that's like the same game parlays, but I hit on, I took it in a teaser and then over and the Lions to cover. Or no, I took the Packers to cover. I took them at plus 3.5. So
that hit for you then. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So, I had him at plus 3, so I pushed on that part.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I got him at 3.5, and so started out strong for the week. Coming off a really good week last week. I didn't bet Jaguars Titans. I couldn't care any less. Like, couldn't possibly care. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence played. Once again, I don't care. Like this game,
I'm pretty sure they said he's done for the year.
I would hope so. Fuck, he about got decapitated. But even with all that said, no,
there's no reason
that you couldn't possibly make me care about this. Kind of the same with the next game. Like there was a twinge of interest. I wouldn't have been able to watch it regardless. But Dolphins, Jets, overtime looks like it might have been a fun game to watch, but Rodgers surely done, isn't he? Like, I mean, it's the NFL. Somebody will pick him up, I would imagine, but
I mean, I don't know. Is this that last year of his contract with the Jets? I mean, there's no way to re-sign him at this point.
I don't know exactly, but you just gotta cut him at this point, don't you? Just eat the loss, eat the cap, or what? If there's a cap hit, just fucking eat it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I probably would. I have no idea who's next up there.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna draft someone.
I probably, I would imagine so. But they're in the running for the first overall pick. So
yeah, I mean, if they got someone like high end, maybe you keep him on just to start, like first few games, and then
I don't know.
Your rookie in, but who knows? I don't know. He's been so bad.
Yeah, he's not been good. Tua is still alive. So we're just a weekly Tua watch. Tua is still living.
Hey man, he's been doing good.
I know, he's when he's on the field, he's pretty damn good. It's just like I'm not sure if he's gonna live.
I mean, it's one of my fantasy quarterbacks. We have a 2 quarterback league, and he's been outperforming Lamar Jackson the last pretty much since he got back from IR.
Yeah, I mean, when he's out there, he's one of the best in the league. There's no doubt about it. He's just, he's been nearly decapitated so many times. Either by the ground or by an opposing player, one or the other, but many a times almost decapitated. Gotta give it up for the for the Tongan or the Samoan cranium strength, I guess. I don't know, because I think the mere mortal would have already been dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's I didn't watch it, so I don't have it. It seems like it was probably a fun game, but yeah, I don't know. Dolphins are kind of they're still in the playoff picture, I suppose. So
sort of, yeah. I mean, I think they gotta win a lot of games.
I think so. That they're gonna have to kind of win out and have a couple other teams kind of fall apart. So I mean, it's still possible, but not looking likely. Falcons at the Vikings. This was the Falcons are kind of falling apart, but they're still in the NFC South hunt. Are they leading the division even?
I'm looking it up right now. Falcons, no, they're getting back from the Bucks.
Okay.
So I mean, that's
at 500, I think.
They're 6-7 or 7-6.
Okay.
So
okay.
They're just a game ahead. So that's, I mean, they could easily win that division.
Yeah, and the Saints are right there too at
they're 5-8. So I mean, they can fuck around and get win that division too.
Yeah, with a losing record, you could probably still win the NFC South. Yeah. The Vikings are the quietest 11-2 team ever.
I mean, almost every other year, they'd be, the talk of the NFL or Super Bowl favorites or stuff like that. But
they're 11-2 and nobody cares.
And even with the better record, I think people are saying that the Packers have a better shot.
I know. The Packers are getting way more attention than the Vikings.
Darnold just threw for 350, 5 touchdowns.
Nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying Darnold at all.
Which, I mean, I guess given his history, fine. But
yeah, I mean, it's a fair assessment. But at this point, you're just like, at least for this season, I don't really want to play the motherfucker. So it's it's the quietest, weirdest 11-2 team I've ever seen. I mean, nobody is talking about the Vikings at all, and they're right there. I mean, they'll be probably the top wild card at this rate.
Probably. I mean, I think the Packers could still probably take them over because they still got some hard games left.
Are they? I mean, it's getting into the division schedule at this point.
So they got one of each from the division and like one more game on top of that. So
yeah, and like you can't sleep on the Bears either. I mean, they'll get their shit pushed in like they did this week, but I mean, they'll sneak up and bite you every now and then, especially those division games.
Shit, they almost beat the Packers and they almost beat the Lions.
Yeah. I mean, it's they're hard to put away in those, and like I said, in those division games.
Like
it's there's gonna be a lot of games like that coming up. Saints, the Giants, who cares? I don't know who Drew Lock. He played.
Yeah,
he played. He threw for a decent amount of yards, but no touchdowns and a pick.
He's the top rusher for the Giants. That's not a good sign, man.
No, he had 59 yards rushing, which is not good for Drew Lock. He's mobile enough, but he's not supposed to be running that much. He's giant.
You should just be happy anyone is starting him.
Yeah, for real. And who cares? Saints win that one. Stay alive in the NFC South. Eagles beat the Panthers. Man,
this one was weird.
Yeah, it was. I didn't watch any of it, but I was looking at the box score Sunday night, and I was like, what was this? What happened here?
Philly had to come back in the fourth to beat the Panthers. Like, what the fuck's going on?
I don't know. And the Panthers have looked okay here lately. Like it's kind of weird. Kind of weird. The Browns, Jameis couldn't go two weeks in a row, slinging it around. But what do you have yardage? I mean, 200. I mean, it's hard to throw 500 yards 2 weeks in a row. So, Steelers just rolling 10-3. They're ahead in the AFC North, aren't they?
Yeah. Ravens are a couple of games back.
Okay. Yeah, like they're feels like they're pretty solidly in first place there, which is kind of hasn't happened in a while.
Not really.
They're always in the playoff picture, but not at the top of the division here the last 5-6 years anyways.
Yeah, not since Big Ben was still really rolling.
Yeah. So they're but even when they won their Super Bowls, I think they did it as a wild card. So,
well, that one they went 15-1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
And the second one was 10-6, and they're a 6th seed.
Okay.
Or the last one.
Yeah, I think so. All right, makes sense. But yeah, but it's been Bengals Ravens the last several years with the the Steelers just hanging around, squeaking into the playoffs. But I mean they're looking really good this year. Russell Wilson looks legit again, and
that defense is good. And
really good.
It's the problem with the Ravens is they have a great offense and no defense.
Yeah. Oh, and it's weird is seems like they have the pieces for a decent defense. They usually do, and it's just not whatever. It's not working this year.
Yeah, not like the Ravens. Usually it's big defense, small offense, and exact opposite this year.
Yeah, it's weird. the Tampa Bay Baker Mayfields are just doing their thing, taking care of business there. And Vegas is in, I mean, that it's a black hole, but not like we're used to talking about the Raiders black hole.
Oh no, that's gone.
Yeah.
I did take the Bucks. That was like one of my to cover.
I did too. I didn't do real well betting the early games, and I think I won both of the Sunday night and the Monday night games, and brought me close to even, but wasn't a great weekend betting for me. Seahawks kind of blew out the Cardinals, huh?
Yeah, and they're actually, I mean, like a few weeks ago, we were talking about if they're making the playoffs or not, and I think they clearly want to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
One game lead right now in the AFC West.
Yeah, the Rams taking it to the Bills. I mean, fuck. Josh Allen was he went off. I wish I could watch some of this game. This looked like it was fun as shit.
I watched the very end where the Bills kind of screwed it up.
That's wild. They Bills scored 21 in the fourth and lost. Man.
Well, they just scored that last one too quick.
Yeah. That's the story of Josh Allen's career at this point.
Right.
That's the story of his career. Do you think he cried a little bit at that SMU deal? He was like, "Oh, bro, I feel you." He just poured one out to the homies. You just hear Josh Allen pouring one out every time somebody gives up the lead with less than 30 seconds left. It's like, no. The Rams are they're always one of those teams that, like, I don't expect them to win the Super Bowl, but I could see them making a run in the playoffs, you know, like when things are rolling over there, they're a pretty damn good team, but it's not consistently.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not consistent, but they just beat a really good team. So,
yeah, a really good team. Like the Bills have been on a roll, and so like, yeah, I mean, watch out for the Rams. They could fall apart. That's very possible.
It's probable, honestly,
but yeah, like they, you can't sleep on them. They could still win the division. It's weird. Niners, I mean, it was the Bears, but the Bears have been playing people pretty tough here lately, and Niners kicked the shit out of them.
I think they're not technically out, but they're pretty much done.
Yeah, I would think so, but they're down to their third string running back again in San Francisco. But he had a good year, or had good game. I had him on my bench in fantasy. I got McCaffrey for a solid 3 games this year, I think.
Yeah, that's rough.
Number 1 overall pick. Super. Chiefs again, squeaking it out at the end over the Chargers.
I can't remember what I took here, but I think I won some money on the Chargers to cover.
I think I forget what. I think that it was Chiefs Chiefs -4 was the line, if I remember right. I think I took Chargers to cover in the under. They had the under the over under was fairly high, if I remember right. And yeah, the Chiefs haven't been scoring a ton of points this year. They win all the time, but they haven't scored a ton of points in very many games.
They're not blowing out anyone.
No, and then the Chargers don't. I mean, that's not the game they play. This was a setup for just a classic grind them out type of game. That's kind of what it was. So, then Bengals at the Cowboys last night. Kind of a who cares game, but it was pretty fun. Bengals are fun to watch. They don't win many games, which is a shame. I mean, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are, fucking elite to watch. They're fun, but no.
Yeah, they really are great. It's fun to watch, and then their defense is just so bad.
That the rest of that team is just like how many times did Burrow get sacked? I wonder. Let's see. Defense total. So he got sacked twice. Quarterback hits 8. I mean, that's a lot.
Especially for Dallas.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a shame. I say it a lot, but that just a squandered talent there in Cincinnati. But they beat the Cowboys. Cowboys suck.
So this is the one that was the Simpsons cast.
Yeah,
which I didn't realize or know about. I just saw it today. I wish I had known it. I probably would have watched at least 5-10 minutes or a bit.
I wish I would have tuned in for at least a little bit. Because I always go to NFLBite.com, and that's how I just plug my computer into my TV and watch it through there. And so it has all the games, and then on the Monday night games, if the Manning cast is on, it has the regular. Same thing as on TV. And I saw it up there, and I was like, they've been having the ads for it, but I was like, man. The Manning cast was also on, so I went to that instead. And
so this might have been streamed on Disney.
Okay, that Disney has the Simpsons on.
Well, and they're also partnered with ESPN or whatever, same parent company or whatever.
Yeah, well, that NFL Bite deal is just all pirated stuff. So
fair enough.
They had that on there too.
Okay.
So it was an option, and I just didn't click on it, and I kind of wish I would have. Now I'm gonna have to go find some clips and see if it was actually worth watching, because it potential to be funny for sure.
Some of it was funny. Some people posted something and I just saw Mo was a linebacker, just laid out someone. I was just like, yeah, that's kind of funny.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, I'll have to go find some clips or something. And then week coming up, we have Rams at the Niners. This is a pretty good Thursday night game again. Remember when the Thursday night games just used to be dog shit?
Yeah.
They've been pretty decent here lately. And it was really good last week. This is not a bad game. We got San Fran -2.5, over under at 49.5. That's a lot of points, but I'm gonna take that at the over in a teaser for sure. I'm tempted to take it straight up, but
I think I take the Rams here.
I kind of want to take Rams money line.
Yeah, me too.
Me put it on my bookie. Plus 117. All right. Yeah, I might take Rams money line, and I'll over at 49. 6-point teaser that put Rams plus 8.5 and over at 41. I like that a lot.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Cowboys at the Panthers, no need. Don't spend your money.
Same with Jets at Jacksonville.
Jets and Jaguars. Yeah, like if you're betting on either of these and they're not your team, like get help. get help. That being said, no, I'm not touching it.
Miami, Houston. That's a little bit better one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game to watch. We got Houston -3 at home. Miami at +124 on the money line. Over under at 47.
I mean, that's another great one to tease.
That is
Houston with plus points. Drop that over under 41.
Yeah, 40 or 41, depending on what you. So if you go 7 point, that'd be a Miami +10 and over at 40. That's not bad at all. As tempting as the plus money on the Dolphins is, I don't like them to win this game on the road. And yeah, I think in a teaser, I like Dolphins in the over.
I mean, I think I like Houston just enough to take them plus or -3.
Yeah. Houston -3 is not a straight up. That's not a bad pick either. I'll for sure do the teaser. I don't know. I'll have to come back to it on the straight up spread. Chiefs at the Browns. We got Chiefs -4 on the road. Overs at 45.5.
Let me get Cleveland to cover.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too. If
maybe the under 2.
Yeah, I think the under. Like Chiefs got a good defense, and the Chiefs offense really doesn't look all that impressive till the last drive, and then
yeah, they always get the last drive.
Yeah, they always do. So yeah, I like the Browns to cover. And if the Chiefs haven't just been winning these one possession games all fucking season, I would toss just a little bit on Browns money line because it seems like a perfect catch them sleeping type of game. But I don't know. The Chiefs don't lose those one possession games this year. So yeah, I like the Browns to cover though. It's probably a 3-point game and Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Commanders at the Saints. Washington -7. Overs at 43. Kind of like the Saints to cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Washington's coming off a bye though, so.
I don't know. New Orleans just isn't impressing me at all.
No, me neither. But Washington, Washington wins this game, I think. I don't know. 7. It's a good teaser. Washington -1 over 36 or 37. I don't hate that.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Seven's a lot of points, and Washington's been pretty inconsistent leading up to the bye week. So we'll see.
I mean, I'm probably laying off unless I put it in a teaser.
Yeah. I don't know. 7's just a lot of points in the NFL. Like Washington should win by 7 for sure, but that's just a lot in the NFL. Ravens at the Giants, 15-point dog at home for the Giants. That is a teaser that you should throw the Giants plus 21 or 22. Throw that in the teaser. That's
yeah, I mean, that's a huge spread.
That's such a huge spread.
I mean, I do kind of want to take it. Baltimore minus 15.
Yeah, I mean, and for real, Baltimore should win by that. But it's too many points in the NFL. It's too many points. It's gonna sound really cheesy, and I know it's not nothing's ever a can't lose, but New York plus 22 and over of 36 seems like almost a can't lose bet. I mean, that's it. but
knock on wood, man.
Exactly. That being said, the New York Jets are running out there with Drew Lock, so it's who the fuck knows. Yeah, I don't really like much of anything about this game, honestly.
The over at 43.
Yeah. The Ravens haven't been doing much on defense lately, anyways. So, and
they might put up 43 by themselves.
That's also possible. But Malik Neighbors is still putting up pretty decent numbers. So, yeah. Bengals at the Titans. I don't.
Bros to throw a bunch.
Yeah, over unders at 46.5. I like the over on that. Bengals -5, probably, but I don't know. I don't.
I mean, I want to say yes, but like the only thing I know is Bros is going to throw a couple touchdowns and 250 yards. Like,
yeah,
that seems easy.
Yeah, I would look more into the same game parlays if you absolutely want to bet on this game, and yeah, take Jamar Chase with anytime touchdown, Burrow with the over on passing yards, and probably over 2 touchdowns. It's he's putting up insane numbers this year, and just not gonna do anything with it. It's a shame. Shame. Patriots at the Cardinals. I couldn't possibly give less of a fuck.
Me neither, honestly.
The Cardinals are still in it, but I don't care. Nothing about this game interests me. It's Cardinals -5.5, over under at 45.5. Nope, not doing any of that.
This one's the game of the
Bills
week.
At the Lions. Why did they not push this to the Sunday night game?
Dude, I don't know.
Who is this? Packers at the Seahawks. I mean, that's not a bad game for sure, but Bills at the Lions. You got to put that Sunday night. Come on.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's a game. I mean,
that's a great fucking game. We got Lions -2.5 at home. Bills money line is +114. I'm gonna throw a little bit on that. I'm not convinced that it's gonna hit, but if you give me the Bills plus money this year, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Lions -2.5 here. I'm taking the over. It's indoors. They're gonna be throwing.
I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take Detroit to cover. I'm also gonna take Bills money line. And then in a teaser, I'm gonna take the Bills +8.5 and the over of whatever that it's 48.5, I think. I'm gonna bet this game a lot of different ways. Just this is a fun game.
Yeah, me too. And I'm probably gonna take I don't know which one, but a Lions running back anytime touchdown.
Yeah, Montgomery for sure. Well, I think he's got like 6 or 7 games straight with a red zone touchdown.
But both of them got 10 on the year, right?
Something like that. I mean,
yeah, at least 10 of the year. So I mean, I want to. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love everything about that game, and it's going to be going on at the same time as the Broncos, and I'm going to be flipping back and forth, but probably more so on the Bills Lions. No offense to Bo Nix. I'm sure he's going to be slinging footballs over the mountains, and I'm going to watch part of it. But yeah. You can't not watch the Bills Lions if you got a shot. That's a fun fucking game.
All right, so Gibbs got 10 touchdowns. Montgomery's got 12.
Shit, I want to say Montgomery's at like 6 or 7 games in a row with a red zone touchdown. Like,
all right, so maybe I'll take Gibbs with the yards and Montgomery with the touchdown. Then
I think that's or even vice versa. I don't think it matters. I think they're just those two are just they're good for like 60, 70 yards easily a piece, and then a touchdown. They're just I don't know, just what they do.
Well, and I mean this game is just like is begging to be a huge shootout.
Oh, if it's not, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be.
That's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about, like, especially now that like Hutchinson's out for the year. Like we know Lions got a decent defense. We know the Bills got a decent defense, but nobody fucking cares. We want to see a track meet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like. I don't even hate the Lions money line. It's -139. Like I might take that as well. Like I'm not opposed to just betting this game every which way. There's I don't know. They set it up for a good bet. You know, they're gonna make a lot of money off this game. All the bookmakers. Colts at the Broncos. Broncos -3.5. Overs at 44.
I'm not sure. India +161. That's
not a bad line. Broncos are coming off a bye, playing really well before the bye too. So
yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna take Broncos to cover. I won't be surprised if I'd like it better at 2.5, but I'll ride with Bo Nix. Denver -3.5. I kind of like the under on points. I don't know what has Indy been doing here lately. Richardson's back and he's had a couple decent games.
Yeah. Let's see. They've won. Oh, they won last week. They got beat 24-6 against the Lions. They beat the Jets. They got beat by the Bills. So there's not a good. Damn, they had a killer schedule.
They played some heavy hitters this year.
Yeah.
And well, then they're back to Anthony Richardson at quarterback. So
which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, he can be good, but I don't know. He's I don't know. I like the Broncos to win. I'm going to take them to cover. I'm torn on the total, but I'm leaning towards under on that.
I mean, this is kind of close enough. I probably won't bet it, but
yeah,
I'm the Broncos.
If I was to bet the total, I'd probably take the under in a teaser, take it up to 50 or 51, and then take the under. But I don't know. This is a tough game to bet. 3.5. This could very easily come down to a field goal. So Yeah, we'll see. Bucks at the Chargers. This is a fun game. Got Chargers -3, overs at 45.5. I think I like the under.
I think I like the under, and I like Chargers at -3.5. Or sorry, it's -3.
-3. Yeah, I think so too. Tampa's feisty. I really like how Baker Mayfield's been just playing out of his fucking mind this year. Not necessarily numbers wise, but even though he's putting up good numbers, but that dude's just he's a baller. Like you're always in the game with that dude.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the Chargers have been doing pretty good recently, and
yeah,
I think they need this more than Tampa Bay does.
I think so too. I think Tampa's in a pretty good spot in the division wise, and the Chargers they've got to keep pace with the Broncos and the Chiefs. So, it's AFC West is another really good division this year. It's not as good as the NFC North, but it's
surprisingly good. Like it looked like it was going to be. It could just be a blowout at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I don't think anybody had nobody had a clue what the Chargers were actually going to look like this year. You had an idea how they were going to try to play, but like how it was going to come together was complete unknown. And and same with the Broncos. I would just
after the first couple games, I'm shocked that they're at 8-5 right now.
I am too. But Bo Nix has been playing really well lately. The defense is solid, and it's a good division. So, I like the Chargers here just because they need it more than the Bucks, and with Harbaugh at head coach, like I'm less inclined to think they're gonna fall apart, at the end of the season like typical Chargers.
No, they'll just lose the big game.
Right, exactly. But I think they'll. I'm a lot more. They've got a lot better chance to make the playoffs than what I'd normally give them. In a similar situation. Steelers at the Eagles is a good game too. We got the Eagles -5 and the overs at 42.5. I'll take the Steelers to cover.
I think so too. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they're going to. I think this is a close game.
I think so too. Yeah, I don't buy the Steelers to win on the road, especially it's the Eagles playing the way they have. But I do think that it's going to be closer than 5. I think it's probably. It's either a 1-point or a 3-point game, and probably over. Honestly, the Steelers have been putting up points here lately. The Eagles can put up points, and they're good defenses. But that you're looking at a 23-21 game.
I think over hits here.
Yeah, I think so too. This is a fun game. The afternoon slot on Sunday is got some bangers. We got Bills, Lions, Colts, Broncos, Bucks, Chargers, and then Steelers, Eagles. That's a good slate in the afternoon.
It is.
And then Packers, Seahawks for the Sunday night game. If it wouldn't been for the Bills, Lions, I would have no problem with this being the Sunday night game. But either way, it's still a good game. Seattle's a tough place to play. They're coming off a couple good weeks. Green Bay's looked good, coming off a tough loss at Detroit. But it was a hell of a game, and Green Bay's playing pretty good football right now. So
Yeah, I think they bounce back here. I'll take them minus 2.5.
Yeah, Seattle is a 2.5-point home dog. I'm not convinced on the Seahawks being a really good team yet. I think they're probably the best team in that division, but that division's not particularly good.
Over under at 46.
That's looks about right for the total. You know, they yeah, I like the Packers to cover. I'm not sure on the total though.
I'm thinking over. Green Bay's had a few like pretty big offensive games.
Yeah, and they they just gave up was it 41 to the Lions? So I mean they can give up some. They got a good defense, but they'll give up some points. And Seattle can put up points from time to time. They've got plenty of weapons to do so. So yeah, I might take the over. Green Bay in the over. I don't hate that at all. Seattle plus 127 money line is tempting, but I don't think they win. I think Green Bay wins this. Monday night, they got a doubleheader on Monday night.
I guess.
And there's no need to watch either of these games, really. I mean, Bears Vikings.
It's probably I bet that's so spreads at 7. I think that's closer.
Yeah.
I think Bears can cover that.
Bears to cover 43.5, probably the over too, honestly.
Yeah, and then I don't know, watch Minnesota just puts up like 50 or something.
Yeah. Falcons Raiders, gross.
That's awful.
Gross.
I want no part of that.
I don't either. Yeah, Atlanta's -5 on the road. Over unders at 44.5. I'm not betting this, and neither should you. So I mean, it's NFL's heating up, but college football. Only thing we got this week is Army Navy, right?
Yeah.
So that's always fun. I like Army. This week, well, we can look up the line here later, but
Eric couldn't make it, but he said Army over Navy.
Yeah. He wants Broncos to cover and to win, so we're pretty well on the same page there. College football. Where's the scores? Here we go. So we had Friday, we had UNLV playing Boise at Boise. Boise cruised 21-7. Won the Mountain West. No shock there. Genty ran for 209 and a touchdown. Army beat Tulane for the American Conference championship 35-14. 11-1 and never even a conversation about whether they'd make the playoff or not.
No, and I think they probably that's a good conversation not to have.
I think so too. As much as fun of a story as it is, and it'd be really fun to argue that. Like at the end of the day, I don't want to see the U.S. I don't want to see the West Pointers get just butt fucked in a bowl game. Like it's probably a good thing they're out. Oregon over Penn State 45-37. Penn State made a pretty good game of it. It looked like Oregon was going to run away with it for a minute, but Penn State rallied, made a game of it.
I mean, it kept going back and forth a little bit. Like it seemed like Oregon's going to run away. Penn State kind of comes back.
Yeah,
Oregon puts up some more points. Penn State just keeps coming back.
Yeah,
it was close to the very end, which were they thinking it? they got a pick to
I think so.
kind of seal this one.
I think it was something like that.
Yeah, like the Penn State maybe had a shot with like a minute left. Oregon picks it off.
Yeah, I think
I won a bunch of money on this game.
I won this game. I won the next game, Georgia over Texas 22-19 in overtime. I was not buying Texas. I still don't. I think Georgia's beatable, but I don't know. It felt right. So I took Georgia. I think Georgia was like plus 119 is what I got them at. Money line. I took them to cover, took them to win, took them in a teaser. I was not buying Texas, and turns out I was right.
I think this is the only one I lost from the college games. I took Texas, which
I lost this one
up until like 10 seconds of regulation. I was looking good.
I was 9 seconds away from sitting really, really good. Like I thought I was, because I had Clemson and all. I didn't bet many individual games. I bet the Georgia Texas game. I bet Boise, and I bet Oregon, but then I bet pretty heavy on a teaser and some parlays, and Iowa State. I also picked them to win, and
I think I just took the over on this one.
I took the over, but yeah, I took Iowa State to win, and then I think I took them to cover in the over in a teaser, and yeah, that nothing about that hit. Arizona State fucking mollywopped them. Yeah, so it was a fun championship week. Clemson SMU game was incredible. That was 9 seconds, and I just wonder if just every time somebody loses with less than 30 seconds left, just Josh Allen kind of looks over his shoulder and single tear runs down his face.
Just gets flashbacks of Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing knives on him.
Yep. So it was a good way to to close out the regular season of college football. And then the playoff bracket is out, and then the bowl games have been announced as well. So start with the playoffs. So we had Oregon number 1 overall, obviously. Georgia at 2, winning the SEC. Boise at 3. Mountain West was the 3rd highest ranked conference champion this year, which is a little more than surprising. And then Arizona State at 4, winning the Big 12, all with first round byes. So the first round will be Clemson at Texas, or Clemson in Texas. Where do they play these games?
I don't know. Not at Texas, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so. It is at Texas. Okay.
No shit. Okay,
all
so
right,
they do play it there.
They're doing classic home and away schedule. So, all right. So Clemson at Texas. I wonder if there's a line out on. Call. only odds I've got up is Army Navy. We got Army -6.5.
So I got some lines. I got some lines here from ESPN.
Oh, okay.
So Texas Clemson over under at 51.5. Texas -11.
Okay. Texas should cover that, but I don't know.
I mean, -11. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Texas is a way better team than Clemson, but it is Texas, so yeah. And they play. So we got a week. We don't have to go over the betting lines for these this week. So
yeah, you're right. We only got one. Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, let's lay off that because
yeah,
I think a lot of it probably will move around a bunch in the next week.
Yeah, well, we'll save some time that way too. So
yeah.
Son of a bitch. Put it on backwards.
Nice. We got like maroon boys today.
Hell yeah. So then we got Tennessee at Ohio State. That should be a good game.
I mean, I want to say Ohio takes this one, but I think that's a good game.
I think so too. My gut instinct says Ohio State rolls, but I don't know. We'll see. SMU at Penn State. You buy SMU?
Dude, I mean, I don't know. They played Clemson so well. Dabo seems like he's got a lot of nice things to say about them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Penn State wins here, but we'll see where the line sits next week.
Yeah, for sure. I think I mean, I like Penn State at home a lot, but yeah, we'll see. Indiana Notre Dame is really fucking interesting. I
think it's not. Well, I mean, I think they're probably more evenly matched than the rankings would say, but
no, in the grand scheme of things, no, it's not that interesting of a game. But just because it's an in-state
I forgot
matchup, and Indiana's never been good at football, and I mean, it's been forever since Notre Dame's really been good at football too. So, I mean. That being said, they do look like they're pretty good this year. So, that being said, I want I want Indiana to win.
I mean, I just want Indiana to watch them. I don't think they will, but
I don't think so either. But that'd be so funny, like a 30-point blowout.
Yeah, I'd love it. But I think Notre Dame is probably pretty good. I hate that they're not in a conference.
I do too. There's not much about Notre Dame that I like. So I have no particular affinity for Indiana, but I hope they just dog walk them.
Yeah, agreed.
So it'd be the winner of Clemson and Texas takes on Arizona State. Tennessee and Ohio State, the winner takes on Oregon. Man, that's the tough leg of the bracket for sure right there.
Yeah, definitely.
SMU,
there's some easier ones too.
Yeah. SMU Penn State takes on Boise. Yeah, and then Indiana Notre Dame takes on Georgia. Georgia
has such an easy route.
And Penn State, like on paper, they've got a pretty easy route to take on Georgia, but
yeah, I mean they just took Oregon like down to the wire.
Yeah.
And so they probably should beat Boise, but Boise's
salty.
they put up some points, so
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we'll see how legit SMU is. I think they're a pretty damn good team, but I mean, they really haven't played a whole lot of good competition this year. But I mean, they had a hell of a game against Clemson, who's been playing really well down the stretch. So it's I don't know. We'll see. Georgia's got an excellent path, though. I mean, we'll see how that their quarterback situation plays out, but their starter's done. I think he's got to get Tommy John surgery.
Dude, man, when they forced him to like come take a snap, like he couldn't like pick up his arm.
His
man.
arm was just dangling. Yeah, didn't they like snap it between his legs or some shit like that?
Dude, why even bring him out? Like, put your third string in, put a running back in, take some like.
Yeah, just bring in a fullback and run wildcat. You know, it's like just. They know you're running the ball anyways. That quarterback's useless. Like, no need. But I guess what's the worst that could happen? He gets even more hurt. Like he's already done. So
yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It will be interesting to see how they come out.
Yeah,
we got a bit of time, but still, they're gonna have to figure something out.
I think. Team like Georgia can just fucking run the ball anyways. Like, I mean,
and I think that backup's pretty good too.
Seems like, I mean, you would think so. He's at Georgia. You'd think he's probably pretty decent. So I don't know. We'll see.
Want to talk about who got left out here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wish Eric was here.
Yeah. So South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Bama all on the outside looking in. I kind of wanted to see Ole Miss get in, but I'm so glad to see Bama out.
I love to see Bama out, but like, man, Ole Miss. Well, they had to put Clemson in. They're forced.
Yeah, they had to. Had to.
Oh no! Yeah,
because Clemson won the ACC, so.
And they get an automatic bid by winning the ACC, right?
Yeah, because they were one of the top 5 highest ranked conference winners. So it's the top 5 get auto bid, and then the top 4 get the bye. So
they had to put them in, but like they're the one I kick out first for Ole Miss.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So let's see. Ole Miss. They didn't play Texas this year, I don't think. Yeah, and then Clemson's. Yeah, they're there by default, and they're the 12 seed because of that. They're.
Well, and I think honestly, the worst team in this, out of all these 12, is Indiana.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
They haven't beat a ranked team all year.
No, and then
Ole
the
Miss
one
bit like 3.
Yeah, I think so. They beat Bama, they beat Georgia, and I forget who else. They had another Tennessee, yeah. So yeah. I mean they've got a hell of a resume, but on the outside looking in. So I mean I think they've got the strongest case to be bitching about it, but
Alabama's probably bitching more though.
Oh yeah, for sure they are. I saw so much bitching on Twitter. Ohio State fans are in the pits of despair because they lost to Michigan, and now they're pretty sure they're going to lose it. They don't belong in the tournament, and yeah. Either way, I like to see Ohio State fans cry. I love to see Bama fans cry. It's a great time. It's a great time to be a college football fan.
I love it.
It's awesome. That being, all of that being said, if it was truly just the top 12 best teams in the country, like, there's an argument that Bama should be there, but they also got smoked by Oklahoma, and I don't know. It's I'm glad to see him out.
And lost Ole Miss.
And lost to Ole Miss, yeah. And then they lost to Georgia too, right?
Oh, shit, yeah.
I think so. Either way, I don't know. They're a 3-loss team for sure. So, yeah, I'm got no problem with the 3-loss Bama being out, and yeah, roll damn tears. That's what I called this episode.
Love it.
All right, so the bowl games. Well, the most important bowl of them all,
the Snoop Dogg Bowl,
the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. I'm I'm still just kind of flabbergasted that fucking Snoop Dogg, fucking doggy style, has a bowl game. That dude never went to college, did he?
No.
I don't think he attended one college. Did he graduate high school even?
I bet he did graduate high school.
I would think he did, but yeah, he definitely didn't graduate college. But he has a college football bowl game named after him.
I believe he was working through a murder trial when he should have been a freshman.
That's right. I forgot. Snoop Dogg killed a guy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, no, he got acquitted.
That's right. That's right. So that could be defamation. We're sorry, Snoop. We love you. I don't know how you don't love Snoop Dogg unless you're the guy that he allegedly killed.
Right. He ain't got much to say about it anymore.
No, not anymore. He ain't saying shit. We got the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
God damn.
And that's in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta on that's this Saturday. Jackson State at South Carolina State. I don't know anything. Jackson State, that's where Dion was at, right?
Yeah.
South Carolina's that
might be an HBCU too.
I was thinking it might be. I don't know for sure, but anyway, it'd probably be a fun kind of a air raid type of game, I'd imagine. Then we have the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. South Alabama versus Western Michigan. Their bowl season is I love the bowl games, but they just don't mean anything anymore after they implemented the playoffs. Like the bowl games just became irrelevant.
Well, and they keep just adding more fucking bowls every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they lowered the standards to become bowl eligible. So you just have to have 6 wins. And so, yeah, it's a 500 record, which is, you just reward mediocrity.
Yeah. And I mean, I do like bowls, and I think it's good for especially smaller programs to like have something at the end of the year, but it ain't interesting.
No,
fans, really, you know.
No, and especially now with like anybody who's on the verge of being drafted is just gonna sit out. So, and I mean, it's I hate it, but it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah, after some big people have gotten injured.
Yeah, exactly. They're I forget the guy's name that the Broncos drafted him a while back, but he was like the top rated tight end coming out of college, and then he blew out his knee in a meaningless bowl game and never panned out in the NFL. But he was like, he was a stud, and then just blew out his knee, never really recovered.
Yep.
It's so it is what it is. The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Memphis and West Virginia. West Virginia, I always want them to be good because they were so fun when we when we were in college and they had Pat White and Steve Slayton. They were a fun team to watch. And,
I forgot about Pat White. Yeah.
That was where McAfee got his start. I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. He signed on as he was actually their place kicker in college, and then he got drafted as a punter and never punted before. But I don't remember. He was like the least memorable part of those West Virginia teams, but they were fun. But yeah, they haven't been since then. So
nah.
I always kind of wish they would be, but they're just not. That was always my go-to team on NCAA football was West Virginia. Just run the option.
Nice.
Boca Raton Bowl. This just sounds old. Just a bunch of old fucks.
James Madison's old as fuck.
Yeah. Western Kentucky. I don't know if they live all that long in Western Kentucky. A lot of moonshine, a lot of meth. But Boca Raton, that just sounds like, it just smells like mothballs. The Art of Sport LA Bowl. Cal and UNLV. Cal made a bowl this year, huh? I kind of forgot Cal existed, honestly.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's been a while since they've been that relevant.
And now they're in the ACC now.
What the fuck?
Pacific Coast team in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
But I bet that's kind of interesting to be at because it's out in LA.
Yeah.
UNLV's not that far away.
If UNLV had a fan base, I'd say that'd be a good opportunity for them to have a road home game, But
it's probably just basketball.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's a fan of UNLV. I'm not even talking shit on them. I don't know. I don't know that anybody is a fan of UNLV. R&L Carriers Bowl in New Orleans, or R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl at the Superdome. Georgia Southern and Sam Houston.
You got to keep those kids on lockdown until the game's over.
Oh yeah. Somebody might die in New Orleans if you don't, and even if you do keep them on lockdown afterwards, somebody might die. Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
That just don't sound bad.
It was called the United Health Bowl, but they took that dude out. And it's at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Ohio. University of Ohio at Jacksonville State. That's a fun one. Tulane and Florida at the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Yeah, they're just like anybody can get I wonder how much it costs to get a bowl game. I don't
know. Me and Eric used to talk about that. It's like, all right, let's get a bowl game in Fort Collins. Like, how much do we have to do to sponsor this? And name
it something ridiculous too. Like I don't even know what you'd name it, but so what was the scuzziest bar in Fort Collins? Tony's or Wash Bar, maybe. Wash Bar. the Wash Bar Fort Collins Bowl.
Nice.
Myrtle Beach Bowl. That's another one you gotta watch. Somebody's getting stabbed. Coastal Carolina and UTSA. What state is Coastal Carolina in? Is it North or South Carolina?
I don't know.
It's like Eastern Carolina. Like how?
There's no East Carolina, man.
Does it straddle the state line? I don't know how this works. The famous Idaho Potato Bowl on that stupid blue turf. And they got,
at least this one doesn't even have this. It's not even like a ridiculous naming for this. At least
no, it's a great name for the bowl, but the turf sucks.
I love the turf. I think it's great.
and now they got 2 red and blue teams on blue turf. So it's like,
fuck yeah, let's go.
You're gonna have to watch carefully. It'll be hard to see the players on that on that blue turf.
By beer number 6, they're gonna be gone.
Yeah, there's like there's a bunch of floating helmets. The Hawaii Bowl. This would be the best bowl game if you didn't make the playoff. This would be the bowl that I would be gunning for.
Didn't CSU make the Hawaii Bowl sometime?
I think maybe so. That'd be so kick ass.
Me and Eric went to like every bowl for a long time, and then I can't remember, something happened, and I kind of stopped following through.
I did not miss many home games at CSU, but I think the only road games I went to was Wyoming and the Mile High Showdown.
That barely even counts.
I know it. It's not really.
It's like an hour away.
I know. So yeah, I'm not a road warrior for CSU. I never went to the bowl games. I always wanted to. I just never did. I was broke as fuck in college though. So
you me too.
I know. I just I think I was broker. We got the Game Above Sports Bowl. Just the Sports Bowl. Woo! Pitt and Toledo.
I bet a bunch of people come up from Toledo. It's like 45 minutes to Detroit.
I'd say that's just like a classic Rust Belt type of game. Toledo and Pittsburgh. The Rate Bowl.
That's awful.
That's a terrible name. I mean, they didn't even make it like stand out like the Gasparilla Bowl. Just the Rate Bowl. Rutgers and K-State. Honestly, this game sounds about as boring as the name of the bowl game. Rutgers and K-State. 68 Ventures Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. I didn't know there was 68 ventures to be had in the state of Alabama, but there you go. Arkansas State and Bowling Green. That's Kentucky, right? Bowling Green.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think there's like a Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Ohio.
Yeah, it's like Cincinnati is like basically Kentucky.
No, there's actually 2 Bowling Greens.
Oh, no shit. Huh.
Well, there's 2 cities, I think, but I can't remember which one the college is in.
I want to say the college is in Kentucky, but I'm not concerned on that, or I'm not confident on that.
GM makes Corvettes in Bowling Green.
Oh, okay.
Ohio.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. So I'm guessing now. I wonder if it's a city on either side of this, like Kansas City.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it could be.
It'd be funnier if they were both like right in the middle of the state.
Yeah, they're not even close.
Not even clear. They're like 300 miles apart. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl. This used to be a pretty big bowl, the Holiday Bowl.
Once they started making like the playoff stuff, Holiday Bowl kind of really fell off.
Yeah. A lot of bowls did. So we got Syracuse, Washington State. This could be fun. This would be a shootout, probably. Snapdragon Stadium. Is that what they call Qualcomm now?
Oh, maybe.
Snapdragon. I'm guessing that's a tech company.
They make processors.
Okay, there we go. The Birmingham Bowl. simple. I like it. Georgia Tech versus Vanderbilt. It's not an exciting bowl name, but it makes sense. It's in Birmingham, and it's just the Birmingham Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not going.
No, me neither.
I've been to Birmingham once, and that was enough.
I've never been, but I have no need that I'm aware of. So, Georgia Tech versus Vanderbilt. This could be a pretty fun game. I like how the Armed Forces Bowl is just sponsored by Lockheed. Does Raytheon have a bowl too? Northrop Grumman. Oklahoma versus Navy. Navy's gonna get. Well, I don't know. Oklahoma's not been.
They're
very
not so good that.
Yeah, that actually might be. I wonder what that is. The 27th. I have to check back in and see what the Navy money line is. That might be one to throw a little money on. AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Liberty Bowl used to be pretty big too.
Yeah, and this game, like several years ago, might have been a good game.
Yeah, Texas Tech and Arkansas. Yeah,
not so much this year, but
no. I bet you there's a ton of points scored.
Yeah.
That's kind of the fun thing about these meaningless bowls is there's usually a ton of points scored.
Yeah.
You see some wild shit. SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. We've played CSU's played the Las Vegas Bowl a couple times, right?
At least once I went to it.
It wasn't SRS Distribution though, was it?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't that.
I remember I think it was my freshman year or sophomore year. First bowl game that CSU went to was the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl.
I went to it.
Yeah, I remember like you and Nick and Brad and Eric. Yeah. Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Oh, they're playing it at Fenway.
That's actually kind of cool.
That is cool. Yukon, North Carolina. Yukon is made a bowl, huh?
Fuck, man.
I didn't know they still had a football team, honestly.
Yeah, I had just basketball.
I legit thought they either dropped down to D2 or like just dropped their foot. All right, then. Then we got the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium.
I mean, that's a name. That's a good one.
Yeah. Bad Boy Mowers.
I wonder how much Bad Boy Mowers had to pay for that.
Oh, so much money. Boston College in Nebraska. I've got no love for Boston College, but I love to see the Nebraska fans be miserable, so I'm gonna throw money on Boston College.
Yeah, let's go.
The Isleta, New Mexico Bowl.
That's a new name too.
Yeah,
I've been to New Mexico Bowl a couple times.
That was just the New Mexico Bowl, wasn't it?
I was like the Gildan, New Mexico.
Oh, Gildan. The Walmart brand T-shirts. New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque.
I went twice.
Awesome. That's more than most people will ever go to Albuquerque.
I've been to Albuquerque way too many times.
I've never been to Albuquerque.
It's not great, but there's some good food.
New Mexico's got great food. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. There you go. Simple. I like that. At camping, how many bowl games does Camping World Stadium have?
2.
Nice.
At least.
Good for them.
This is good. All right, now we're getting into some interesting bowls. That's a good game. That's a good game.
Miami of Ohio. Or are you talking Iowa State, Miami? That's a good game too.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Okay.
This one too, but
I wonder if one of those Camping World Stadium bowls was supposed to be in Tampa.
I bet it was.
That makes sense because I don't ever remember there being 2 bowl games at one of these smaller stadiums like that. So then we got the Rammies in the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
I didn't realize this is in Tucson. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Man, Snoop Dogg is just the ultimate capitalist.
I swear this was like the full name of this was like the Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Bowl or something.
That'd have been so. I mean, he's got so many catchphrases over the years that I mean, it could be so many different names for the Snoop Dogg Bowl. They should just drop Arizona off that and just call it the Snoop Dogg Bowl.
Yeah,
honestly, Snoop Dogg's way more recognizable than Arizona. Probably always will be. So, just drop Arizona off it. Wait, CSU's winning the Snoop Dogg Bowl. It's the inaugural one, I would imagine, right?
I think it's got to be. One of my favorite jokes from one of my friends this week was that I thought Snoop Dogg preferred blunts over bowls. Perfect. It's called the Snoop Dogg Arizona Blunt.
We'll find out that Snoop Dogg also pays somebody to pack his bowls. He's a job creator, not just a blunt roller. He's got to have a bowl packer too. The Go Bowling Military Bowl, East Carolina and NC State. They're not going to put Army in the military bowl.
I guess not.
Guess not. Air Force didn't make a bowl this year, so all right. I don't think so. Did they?
No.
I think last I saw they were like 2-8 or some shit like
that.
The Valero Alamo Bowl, BYU versus Colorado.
Who do I want to lose more?
Exactly.
I think it's BYU.
I think so too. And it's in San Antonio. That's a that's a miserable city to go to a bowl game at. Army got the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. All right. What kind of bombs does Radiance Technologies make?
Radiance nuclear. I don't know.
if it's an Armed Forces Academy playing in the Independence Bowl, you know it's got to be sponsored by somebody who makes something that goes boom.
Oh yeah.
The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. Trans Perfect.
I'm gonna stay away.
Good idea.
But Iowa,
it's
okay.
Iowa, Missouri. That's not a bad game.
No.
Bama and Michigan in the ReliaQuest Bowl.
Oh, this is hilarious.
ReliaQuest.
Bama's just gonna kill them.
Yeah, I would think so. Michigan's not. I mean, they did beat Ohio State, but they're not good.
No.
They're not good. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Love it.
They didn't even include Frosted Flakes, just Tony the Tiger. I respect it.
That is kind of funny.
Well, they can't put Frosted Flakes anymore. They don't want to catch the wrath of RFK Jr. So
what?
Tony the Tiger. You know, RFK's he's making America healthy again. So sugary cereal.
Brainworm at a time.
Oh yeah. I mean, those brainworms are powerful. You got to watch out for them.
There's another Camping World.
3 Camping World Stadium is just raking in money hand over fist this bowl season.
There's 2 at Raymond James in Tampa.
Florida is just crushing the bowl season, huh?
Yeah.
Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. That sounds unappetizing as all hell. Cheez-It and citrus.
Yeah, it does sound bad.
I like citrus. I love Cheez-Its. I've never wanted to have a handful of Cheez-Its and then a slice of an orange in the same same sitting. That's a like if you're gonna have a third bowl at Camping World Stadium, maybe try a little harder on the name. Maybe
you get something citrusy to go with the sponsor.
Yeah, I mean there's plenty of the Mountain Dew Citrus Bowl.
Perfect.
I mean, and it's in Florida. Come on, it makes sense. I'll give you that one for free. Next one.
Go get Starry.
Yeah,
they're kind of like come on.
Is that the new Sierra Mist or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we could make up better bowl names for these people and not charge near as much as whoever actually makes the name. The Kinders Texas Bowl. Kinders makes good seasonings. Baylor LSU. I don't know anything about Baylor this year, but LSU is always pretty fun to watch. So
I didn't know it was pronounced Kinder. I thought it was Kinder. So
that's how my wife calls it, and I refuse to. It's just one of those. I say Kinders just because she says Kinders, and
right.
For no other reason, just because of that.
Awesome.
Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Duke and Ole Miss.
Oh, Duke's gonna get wrecked here.
Like Duke's not bad this year, but yeah, Ole Miss ought to roll them. Serve Pro First Responder Bowl. We got North Texas and Texas State, and they're playing in Dallas, so they have to drive like 30 minutes between the two of them. Go to the bowl.
Are they both? They're both close to Dallas.
North Texas, I think, is right there close to Dallas, and then Texas State's a couple hours. I think it's over. I think Texas State is San Marcos.
Okay, that's cool. I'm sure that's great for the students.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be.
Who else wants to go to that bowl?
Yeah, well, Texas. I mean, I think
they're like, oh fuck, we don't got anything to do on Friday. We're going to the bowl game.
Yeah. It's football, so Texas will show up. Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's one of the more revolting traditions.
I don't want nothing about this. I don't want to hear about it. I fucking hate mayo.
I don't mind mayo, but like they dump a jug of mayo on a dude after the game, and it's.
I know about it. Like it's making me a little nauseous just thinking about it.
I've got a really strong stomach, and that one doesn't sit very well with me either. It just Minnesota, Virginia Tech. I mean that's about as mayonnaise as you can get. So,
yeah, fair enough.
Bahamas Bowl. That's also a good one that I'd want to go to. Buffalo and Liberty. That's on January 4th. All right. Well,
that's a lot of bowls. I didn't think that was going to take that long.
There's a lot of fucking bowls.
That's not even like any of the playoff shit.
No. And those are all just meaningless games at this point. But it's still football, so and then hey, we're doing all right. Hour 40 before we got to baseball. Like no, not bad. Not bad for our standards anyways. Juan Soto is almost a billionaire at the stroke of a pen. 766 or 756.
765.
There we go.
Over 15 years. He has an opt-out after 5 years. The Mets can cancel that opt-out by paying him extra like $50 million or something like that.
That's I mean, set aside the money, which is ridiculous. The terms of it are not real friendly for Soto necessarily. Like he's like if he balls out and and say, the Dodgers come calling, well, the Mets can just say, nah, we're gonna keep you. We're gonna keep you.
I mean, yes, but that's pretty much how all these contracts are.
True,
but he does have that. He does have that opt out after 5 years, and one of the reasons that this is like so gigantically inflated over most other contracts, other than like Ohtani, is that he's so young when he's going to free agency. He just turned 26. Most people are free agents 20, 28, 29, somewhere around there. So the guys that you see that like have the huge contracts are just Harper, Trout, Machado, or a few of them, A-Rod back in the day, all came up really young and got signed to huge contracts because like none of them, he hasn't even hit his peak. His peak should be 27, 28.
Yeah. Yeah. And he'll get moved to DH eventually. And which he's not a particularly good defensive player anyways. So
no, he's not.
Is not gonna, but he's got an inside out swing. He's really patient at the plate. So I mean that shit translates long term. So I mean it's they were talking 700 million, at the beginning of the year. They've been talking, Juan Soto's been the topic of conversation all year. So not a huge surprise that he made all the money, but it's still when you hear it all laid out, you're like, fuck, it's so much money.
It is. It's a ton of money. I think so he needs to. So 15 years. Do some quick math here. I was trying to figure out essentially how valuable his contract, or he needs to be to make that contract valuable.
And I mean, he's a perennial, Hall of Fame contenders. I mean, not Hall of Fame. I mean, eventually probably Hall of Fame, but MVP. Yeah.
So, okay, so they talk about how much you have to pay for like one war in free agency.
Yeah.
Usually it's about like these days 8 or 9 million a year per war, and so he needs for this contract he needs to average like just over 6 war a year, albeit over 15 years to make that contract valuable. But which is crazy because it really needs to mean like I think he was 9 something last year, which is a huge number.
Yeah,
he needs to do that for the next 5 years, and then do like 5 for the next 10 years.
That's wild.
And this, I mean, so it's almost certain that he's never going to make the value back on that, except for it's such a long contract. In 10 years, 700 million might not be like such an aberration of a contract, right?
Yeah, the way with inflation and just the economy of sports in general, like the contracts haven't ever got smaller unless the production goes down. It's and one good year of production can, I mean, that can set you up for life. So that's happened so many times.
Yeah,
so many times. So I mean, there's always the chance that he drops off after he gets paid, and I don't think that's probably the case.
I don't think that's like the way his game is kind of built is that he probably won't do that. He's just kind of to not get hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And has he been? He hasn't been particularly injury prone, has he?
Pretty much never.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a ton of money, but in the terms of the baseball economy, it's yeah.
Yeah, I mean the worst thing that could happen is he like turns into Mike Trout and just like can't stay on the field anymore, which I don't think anyone wants to see.
No, I mean that's not good for anybody.
No, and it's just fun to watch the best baseball players actually play.
Right, and yeah, there's not much to not like about Soto. I mean, he's just like he doesn't cause drama. It seems like, and he carried the Yankees in the World Series. So
yeah. So I was talking about earlier, or I was going to wait for the pod for was so the Yankees gave him $750 over 16 years, so one more year, 15 less mil. But the kicker was that he wanted a suite for his family at Yankee Stadium, and they said no. And Steve Cohen from the Mets was like, "No, we got you. Here it is, no problem."
I wonder how much the Yankees are going to be kicking themselves down the road for that. I
don't know.
I mean,
that's a hard one. It's gonna take at least like you'd have to go like 7 years in the future to really even like have an idea about how bad or good this contract was.
Right. Because I mean,
I don't know, unless he has like something catastrophic happen.
Yeah, like barring a career-ending injury, it's gonna take several years to see if it was a good pass or not. But you would think in the grand scheme of things, particularly how the Yankees usually spend money, that a suite is, you're like, oh well, yeah, of course, whatever, like. But that's funny. The Yankees play cheap ass with their luxury boxes. So all right, well,
I guess they said Judge pays for his and Jeter played for his, so they didn't want to give that up. Even though that's, I mean, like I'm sure that's a lot, but like, man, maybe that's like $500,000 a year,
something like that. You'd think.
I don't know. Maybe it's not even. I have no idea how much it is at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, I don't know either. But either way, like not that much in the grand scheme of things, you'd think.
Yeah, especially if that's the thing that you give it up $750 million already. Like, just give up a few more.
Right. That's yeah. That seems like a strange line in the sand to draw, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess it'll look like a genius move if Soto turns out to be a bust, which I think is highly unlikely, but we'll see.
Yeah. So you got anything else, or you talk about Fried?
Yeah, like the Fried deal. That, I mean, they overpay for him.
So Fried has the best ERA over the past 5 years. Of any starting pitcher. He's I think he's had a little bit of health issues in there, but he's good. He's very good. But it's a big contract. I think it's 215, 220 over 8 years. Biggest left-handed pitcher contract ever, like the fourth or fifth biggest pitcher contract. So it's big. It's a huge number.
It's a classic Yankees signing there. I mean, like that's what you expect with the Yankees, is just come over the top with all the money.
Yeah, and that one makes me a little bit more nervous because pitchers can, one bad pitch can end your career. Yeah,
but if it works out good, they got Garrett Cole and Max Fried at the top of the rotation. I mean, that's that. Now you're. They're chirping back at the Dodgers and like, oh yeah, we can spend some money too. So I will say though, the Mets is kind of one of the last places I wanted to see Soto go. Like I would have rather seen him go somewhere else.
Well, I don't know. Out of the people who are bidding for him, I think that's the second place I want him to go. Like,
yeah,
I'd like him to stay at the Yankees, but like I don't want to see him in Boston at all because
no.
Boston, and the Blue Jays just kind of seem boring.
Yeah, who we don't enable Canadians here, so and then like the Dodgers were mentioned briefly, but I don't think they were ever in real serious contention, and thank God they don't.
Yeah,
they
got
don't
too many
need
people already.
They don't need any more pieces. Fuck. That's yeah. At some point, you just gotta tell the Dodgers no. You can't do that. Or maybe they'll just go bankrupt one of these days.
It could happen.
I mean, fuck. They the way they spend, who knows?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of why they have a ownership group now, is because the old owners couldn't afford to keep paying.
That makes sense. I mean, what they spent $1 billion between between Shohei and Yamamoto.
Yes, and they also have $1 billion in deferred contracts.
It's
gonna be real fun starting the 2035 or 20 something.
Hey, it's they're just taking
future
taking tips from the federal government, like that. that's later money. Don't worry about it.
It's future me problems. We'll deal with that. Yeah. If I make it another 10 years, we'll deal with that.
We're living in the now. No, I think the Sunday slate of NFL games is going to be great. Army Navy game, let's go. I do think I think Eric's pick is good on that. Army over Navy. It's a 6.5 point spread. I still like, and the over under was at 38, which classically you take the under on the Army Navy game, but
I think I take the over this year.
I think so too. They've both been putting up a ton of points, so I'm taking over, and I think Army's quite a bit better than Navy. So I'm going to take them to cover 6.5.
I agree. Kind of boring, but that's
yeah. But yeah, that's, and I guess there's a couple of bowl games starting this week, but I'm not. If I catch it, I'll probably tune in for a little bit, but other than that, I'm not all that. Let's see what we do have. We got the Cricket Celebration Bowl, the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl on Saturday. Jackson State and South Carolina State, and then South Alabama and Western Michigan. If that suits your fancy, if not, gotta wait till Thursday and Sunday.
Yeah, I might watch that cricket bowl, but only if I don't got anything else to do.
Yeah. There's I would say there's probably something better to watch, but there may not be. I don't know. It's we're in that time of year, so it's a weird bowl game, or wait till Sunday for the NFL to come on. So it's kind of what it is. But other than that, I think that's all I got.
Same here.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week, and move your ass. We're burning daylight.